Welcome to episode 123.
Correct.
Amber nearly ruined my next thing. But I am also grateful that you did, because for some reason, this is one of my favorite things to say randomly. Have you seen the video of, can I pet that dog?
Can I pet that dog?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, well, we're going to watch it right now because
It doesn't work, though. I'll describe it for you.
No, I'm going to play it without mirroring because you can just hear it.
Oh, okay.
That dog's a black bear. Anyway, it's the cutest thing ever. So, like, randomly, like, I'll be driving down the road with my kids. I'll be like, can I pet that dog?
Can I pet that dog?
Or, like, my kids will take their shoes off and I'm like, can I pet that dog?
Maybe that's
hilarious.
what that old lady wanted to do with the bison.
Yeah. Can I pet that
Can
dog?
I pet that dog?
So that's the name of this story. Can I pet that dog? But what it's actually about is...
Oh, good. There is a story.
Yeah, there is actually a story. I didn't just bring it up like... You remember that?
Remember that, guys?
Even though Chris Fowler is a genius. U.S. Postal Service releases dog bite national ratings.
Interesting.
How many times do you think postal workers get bit by dogs?
Pit bulls.
No. Did you even listen to the question?
No, it's pit bulls.
Whatever my question is, the answer is pit bulls.
Yep.
Okay, wait. Nationally?
Yeah.
Okay. Per year or per month?
I don't know.
This makes a difference. This makes a difference.
This is a pretty epic picture, by the way. There's a male person.
Wait, this year 2024, so in 6 months?
This year. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
So in this picture we're looking at, there's a male man holding his thing, and there's a dog that's clean off the ground, equal to its height standing up. So his hind legs are like maybe
jumped up to
28
his face.
inches off of the ground. Yeah, and he's like face level.
And he's looking at it going, can I pet that dog?
Can I bet? Yeah. Well, look at his face. He's just like, not today, bitch.
Yeah.
He's grasping his package.
Yeah. He's holding onto that mail.
Oh, I mean the mail. The parcel.
But he does have like Kevlar socks on that are good for dog bites.
From the SWAT team.
Yeah.
From his sock. He's got shin guards.
Yeah.
Any dog scenario.
So how many dog bites do you think are
This
reported per year?
Oh, per year.
By mailmen?
Per year.
Male people?
Female, men, male packagers?
All across the nation.
I would say 1,432.
Oh, dang. That's high. I was thinking
it's way more.
higher than that, actually, Phil. I was thinking higher than that.
You were way ahead of me.
That's so low. I don't even know if
way.
I don't even know if I'm going to allow Amber
3,000.
36,700,400.
More than 5,800
Shut up.
cases. But let's be honest. They're government employees. There might have been some lying. You know what I mean? So
Who
anyway,
trusts those people?
I'm just kidding. But yeah.
No
more than
way.
5. Oh.
I could put a stop to all those.
Oh, so you're going to solve America?
Yeah, because on my mission, if you'll remember, we bought little baby squirt guns.
Mm-hmm.
You fill them with water, and you take those Thai chili peppers and squeeze the pepper juice into there, and then you just squirt them in the face.
So you're pretty much making like a pepper spray, a type of pepper.
It's like a gentle dog
pepper spray.
But it's in a squirt gun form, so it's fun.
Yeah. So it's fun. Pew, pew.
Yeah, pew. And rocks. You had to throw rocks. And we had slingshots, too. Dogs were nuts in the Philippines.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It was like survival over there.
I cannot believe it's over 5,000, honestly. That does shock me.
5,800. It's a lot. Like,
yeah. And they're mostly pit bulls.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. But my dad used to... He delivered newspapers, but he took newspapers to, like, he was like, I don't know how you call it in drug terms, but like he was the distributor. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like he would give it to the newspaper boys, or he'd deliver it to the different areas. So his area was like many square miles.
What would he give to the
newspapers?
Oh,
so
okay.
he'd get it from the printer, load like hundreds of them up in his van. I don't know. And then he'd drive it and take it to where the boys would go and distribute it from.
Okay.
Anyways, so he was like somehow like a paper boy, but he's like a paper man, I guess. Anyway, so he got used to like dealing with dogs because sometimes the guys that actually took him to the houses would not be there, and he'd help fill in for it. This is a long time ago. Anyway, he told me stories about this, and he said he started carrying a BB gun.
Oh yeah.
Oh, a BB gun.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's like, it's just not worth it. Like, and you can apparently shoot a dog if they're trying to bite you or getting aggressive and stuff. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. And I mean, if I had a dog and I wanted male, I would think I would like make that situation.
Yeah, if you knew that your dog was aggressive. Did you have any like crazy experiences? Like, what was your craziest experience with a dog on your
dogs?
mission? Yeah.
When I saw one get run over.
Oh, not okay.
And
I've seen a dog run over as well.
Yeah, and I laughed and laughed and laughed.
Oh my gosh,
it's hard.
Phil.
It's bad to say, but over there, I you just didn't care. It was like they were evil things. I mean, they're like skin was falling off their face. They're always snapping at you.
Oh, sad.
Like they're not like we think of dogs as pets. Over there, they were wild animals.
Yeah.
Like pigeons or rats or something.
Like Resident Evil dogs.
Yeah.
They're
but
all
no,
zombified.
I never got bit. I got snapped at several times, and then I did the power move. Roar!
Yeah.
And then they would run away, but
yeah.
One time, I was walking home from school from Forbes Elementary up through Brigham Avenue for all you American Forkites. And on Brigham Avenue, for some reason, there was 3 dogs, 2 big ones and a smaller one. And they kept following me, and then they saw me and started running towards me. And I love dogs, and I always have, but they freaked me out so bad, I jumped into a tree. And I sat in that tree, and they were like circling around and jumping up. They weren't barking, they weren't growling, they were just like being kind of aggressive towards me, like just in motion, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It freaked me out bad, like to the point where I think for a while there I was like, will you walk the rest of the way home with me, you know? Like, I wanted to make sure more people were around so they weren't, like, trying to pick on me.
I've never had an aggressive dog situation.
Yeah.
Someone another dog attacked my dog.
Yeah.
And I ran over. Yeah, I guess so. As I said, I was just like, well, actually. So I ran over and started whacking the other dog with my purse. And the owner of the other dog was just like, don't hit it with my purse. I'm like, lady, I will drop kick your dog. Like,
where were you?
At the King Street house.
It and strangled it.
Okay.
I was at my King Street house. It was just up the road.
What kind of dog did you have?
I had an Old English Bulldog.
Okay. Nice.
So, yeah, he was cute.
Cute.
Can I pet that dog?
Can I pet that dog?
5,800 dogs biting male people. Stop it. And it gives all these stupid pointers, but like
on how to do it.
Yeah, but like you guys said, do you like getting packages at your house and stuff? Well, maybe deal with your dog.
Yeah,
yeah.
Is one of the options to, because Brandon deals with a lot of dogs in his job too, and he says like you just like pretty much just like if they're coming at you, you just like ram your like with their
punch
mouth.
them.
Yeah.
Punch them in the nose.
But you'll pretty much just like you'd like shove your fist down their throat.
That works, but if they're attacking and biting at you, it's not. I think they usually go for the legs.
I guess that's true.
If my dog bites, I will do that. I'll shove my fingers down their throat.
Yeah.
And they're like, ugh, wash your hands or something. I don't know what he thinks.
Where those been?
It's weird. Or like pushing them like this. Like on the sides of their mouth, the little flappy skin.
Yeah.
Push that back and it's tender, I guess. I don't know. Just bop them in the nose.
See, I only grew up with 2 kinds of dogs. Police dogs and farm dogs. And the police dogs were kept outside in a kennel as required by like law or whatever. They had to be like, nowadays I think like a lot of them are like inside with the officers and stuff, but they're very strict on like your kids can't be like friends with the dog because it's like a working animal.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
That's how your dad became a canine. He's like, my kids hate dogs.
Yeah.
Give me one.
And then the farm dogs were always on the farm working with my grandpa. And those were like my favorite dogs because it was like you're out in the wilderness or the big open spaces. They wander around, do whatever they want. You call them over, they come right away. They do exactly what you tell them all the time. But they can just kind of do whatever.
Yeah.
So I didn't grow up around like dogs in the house or anything like that.
That's why I like my dog. She's more like that.
Yeah.
Than other
That's how
dogs
my
I've
dog
had.
is too. She's a border collie.
Yeah.
You've been around my dog a lot.
Yeah.
At the
Your dog's
property.
nice.
Yeah.
He's just kind of whatever.
She just like
around.
snaps at all the other dogs and
Yeah, that's her job.
yeah.
She's the alpha.
She actually does hate other dogs.
Yeah.
I just came across this scrolling through the story, and I don't know why I love making you guys guess everything, but guess what the average
5.
Whoa.
That's correct.
Was it correct?
No. Guess what the average insurance claim dollar amount is per dog bite? And I guarantee whatever you're thinking right now, double it.
$13,423.
You still failed.
And it's higher than that? 17,472.
$64,500.
What?
Wow.
So I think
How much damage are these dogs doing?
I think there's certain tests that are required too, like, well, we gotta check for infection and I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think the insurance companies are planting these dogs so that they'll bite people and they can make money.
Maybe.
Another conspiracy.
Wait, the insurance company doesn't make money.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
the
paying
other
out.
one maybe.
Maybe the local hospital?
Yeah, I don't know. But
Maybe-
you can carry
Maybe the mailman.
liability insurance if you have a dog though.
Yeah.
You can carry that, I think. I think some states even require it. Utah I don't think is.
Maybe to be a
One of those.
mailman, you have to be dog insured.
Yeah.
Wow. Dog attack rankings by city. What's the top city?
Jeff's just like
I'm
Googling
loving this
things
story.
and pulling
Hold on.
things up right
No,
now.
it's the whole article. Whoever put this article is really smart.
Oh.
Montana.
Los Angeles.
Wait,
'cause
what is
that's
this?
the armpit of the world.
What are you asking?
Oh, I already ruined it. It's the number one city with the most dog bites.
Oh, well yeah.
For male people.
Well, that's like your West Valley argument. There's more people there, so they're gonna have more dog bites.
And there's no Utah city on here. Albuquerque, New Mexico's on here. That's weird. That's
That
not
is
a big
interesting.
place. Yeah, most of them pretty big cities, high population.
Huh.
Denver's on there.
What do you think about pit bulls, though?
I hate pit bulls.
Oh,
No, they're good dogs. They can be.
yeah.
Be good dogs.
Do you think they should be outlawed?
No,
No,
Do you think so, Phil?
I don't know.
You seem to have an opinion.
I've heard a lot of people get bit by them, and when they're bit, it's always like, oh, it was the nicest dog ever. Everyone loved it, and then, rawr!
Well, because their bite's like insane, right?
Yeah.
Like once it clamps, it like
yeah.
clamps on there.
Well-
Everybody loved the town alligator. That bit the kid's arm off and he's
Yeah.
dead.
Well, my understanding is that pit bulls were bred to like fight bears in the ring, like to the death
What?
or something like that.
But pit bulls are not the scariest dog out there.
What's
There
the
are other
scariest
dogs
dog?
that are like, oh my lord.
Yeah,
I
and
don't even know
it's
the names of
and
them.
it's comparable type situations where they're like bred to like hunt bears or kill like bears, stuff like that,
Yeah.
or like to fight other dogs.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that's like the lineage that they're basically like hyenas or
Yeah.
lions. or
Certain
something.
mastiff type. Have
Oh,
you seen the mastiff dogs?
that are
They're
huge.
There's certain breeds of those that were bred to protect meat houses. Like there's meat inside, so like animals would come, but also people would come and try and steal meat and
Yeah.
stuff like that, like long time ago. And so they bred these massive dogs to just be super intimidating and aggressive.
Yeah.
And I've seen some of those in person. They come walking up and you're like, oh boy, don't hurt me.
Boy, oh boy.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I don't know. I've just known people that have been attacked. Seems pretty rough.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be scary.
Yeah.
But I've never been attacked by a dog.
Yeah.
well, world news. I'm so creative.
5.
He be Putin
You got
nukes in other countries.
Oh,
you see that?
He be Putin nukes.
He be Putin nukes in other countries. I substituted Putin.
This
for
is
For
Putin
Putin.
putting nukes. Where's he
Thanks for
putting nukes?
explaining it.
Well, he hasn't said a
Oh.
specific country where he's putting nukes, but what he's saying is Putin warns Russia could provide weapons to strike the West. And he's basically saying, like, I don't know why people aren't taking me seriously, but I wouldn't just launch nukes. I'd put nukes in other places.
Well, I think what he's really saying is I could start supplying Hamas and Iran.
No, he specifically said provide weapons to strike the West.
Yeah, so, that's what strike the West means.
Right, I get what you're saying. He could put them in the Middle East. He can put them in Cuba. He could sell them to Mexico, or I don't know.
Well, and I could be wrong, but I think from Russia's perspective, the West is
Europe,
Israel over.
Yeah. So basically, I heard about this when the day that Donald Trump was found guilty of all 34 counts, and it was like the biggest deal in the world, and like people were getting like Amber Alerts on their phone.
I didn't even think you were going to bring that up.
I am bringing it up, but not to talk about it. So thank you.
But I will.
That same day that so you're just going to overshadow this whole story.
No, keep going,
Jeff. Happen?
Just whatever you want to say.
I just saw the future.
Just wait for me to get done talking first.
Okay.
First of all, Donald Trump.
But wait, so this conspiracy that I heard was that day Biden passed a rule to allow or authorized something for Ukraine to start using long-range weapons into Russia that we've provided to them.
Well, and I heard even maybe more recently that Biden just said that he is authorizing Ukraine. Maybe this is the same thing you're saying.
Yeah.
He's
authorizing
Ukraine to use U.S. weapons against Russia on their soil.
That's exactly what I just said.
Well, also, if you read paragraph 3, several countries, including the United States, have given Ukraine the green light to strike targets inside Russia.
Yeah.
And the big ones are United States and Germany. And Germans supplied weapons. They're saying, yeah, go ahead and use them to strike Russia, which I don't know how this is any different than just the
declaration of war.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what I was saying is that apparently all the things that went through the United States lines to authorize that happened the day that Trump was found guilty of all this stuff. And they're like, oh, that was the cover up for what they were really doing.
They did this on that day?
Yeah.
This is crazy, isn't it?
This is the real news.
Yeah.
Billionaire tycoon found guilty of 34 felony counts in a weird court of law. Not news. This fucking news.
Yeah.
Why?
One step closer to World War.
This is
news.
This is what I would think would be a big escalation. What was Russia's escalation that we're doing this now? Did they blow up some hospitals or? And maybe they did. I just haven't heard anything. I thought they were just warring like usual. Why are we escalating?
All the sudden
situation?
To nukes?
I don't know. This is to me again one of those things why is not everybody talking about this?
And I guess I'm surprised too that I guess they weren't allowed to before. So maybe we were giving them weapons and saying you can use these for self-defense, but you can't use them on Russian soil.
Yeah, you can't use them on an offense.
And that makes sense, I guess. But
sorry,
I don't know. It's weird. This is weird.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we should stop talking about it at all, including anything with the TRUMP. Don't you think?
Oh, Donald Trump. So what do you think about all of that?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't even... Who's Donald Trump?
Trump got convicted on 34 counts.
I honestly don't even know exactly what the conviction was.
Oh. What about you, Amber?
Well, I know it had to do with, part of it had to do with him paying off a sex worker, right? And he used those, the...
campaign funds?
No, not campaign funds, but just, business funds to, he paid off this girl, $130,000 and, wrote it in his business plan. But it was to write off this chick right before the 2016 election.
Is that the Stormy Daniels thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, is that what he got in trouble for?
Yeah, that's
really?
it.
Well, that, and wasn't he his buildings in New York, he was inflating the square footage.
So that's a different case.
Okay.
Than this one. And I think that's a federal case. When I read about this, and I probably don't have a perfect understanding of this, It's all about him paying off the porn star because she claims that they had sex. Well, his wife was pregnant or just had a baby.
Yeah, and this was like in early 2000s.
Yeah, and she came out with this before the last election. She came out and said, we had sex, and he's like, no, we didn't. She has a horse face. And
I remember that now.
And anyway, nobody said anything until this year. He got charged. Everybody thought this was going to be, they weren't going to win this because it was such a weak case. And then they won all 34 counts. When you look through the counts, here it is in the nutshell. He paid the porn star off, and because he did that and didn't disclose it as a campaign expense, with the justification being that he's really covering something up to benefit his political campaign, because he did that per New York state law, that is like fudging the books, pretty much.
Okay.
You're making, what's the word? Fraudulent documents in business or whatever.
Yeah. I think that's what I was trying to say. Good job, Phil.
No, you said it right. But I was saying all that because when I looked through each count, it was pretty much like count 1 is the check that Trump wrote to Michael Cohen, his lawyer at the time, for $25,000. Count 2 is the check is the invoice that he sent to accounting on this date. To my understanding, there wasn't the lawyer didn't pay the porn star off for $150,000 or whatever, and then go to Trump and be like, I need $150,000. He paid her off $150,000 and then billed $40,000, and then the next month billed $200,000, and then the next month, and all those bills, they pretty much were anything he did in his lawyer billed in this 3-month time frame could have been tied to that payment. So all of those are different counts.
So that's how the 34.
Yeah, it was this check, this invoice, this process thing, this email. It's anything that could have been, even though none of them, to my understanding,
could have been tied to it.
Yeah, it was it could have been. I was really surprised with this verdict.
I don't know.
You think he's guilty?
I don't care if he's guilty. Is that weird?
No, I get you. I don't care either.
And let me explain why. It's not because I think Trump is so untouchable and imperfect. It's such a freaking circus already.
Yeah, it really is.
Have you ever been to the circus?
Yeah, with the animals.
What if another clown came out? There's all these clowns doing all this bullshit, and then another clown comes out. Would anyone care? No.
Well, what's he gonna do? Is he
gonna come
fly
out
up to the top of the ceiling?
Let's say he comes out and he's writing a check to a prostitute.
Oh.
Does anyone care? No, because there's all these other clowns doing all this other bullshit, and it's just this is insanity.
It really is insanity.
And then it's Hunter Biden. This is another story I saw while I was preparing for the podcast. Hunter Biden ex-girlfriend describes his drug use of he would use crack every 20 minutes or so. I'm if that's even slightly true, how is this person even what the hell? You know what I mean? It's just such a shit show.
Yeah.
Well, that's his drug charge. It is crazy that we've got to where we are.
It really is that these are the two candidates here that we've got for America.
Yeah, the one can't even. In fact, I read a thing today that said that behind closed doors, people in Biden's circle are getting worried about him.
How can they not? How can that, he can't even form a sentence. It's absurd.
It blows my mind. It blew my mind when they debated before he was even president. Yeah. When he stopped for 15 seconds and everyone was just uh-oh. And then he just went on and was but that's cool.
I think I asked you guys this one time, and I asked my business partner too, in a very serious sense, what government entity, agency on the entire planet is doing a good job for us to look to for an example?
Oh, I would say the U.S. Postal Service.
Specifically their dog bite program.
Yep.
Cash machine.
I would say they do a reasonably good job because you put something in the mail, chances are it's going to get there.
They're terrible, Phil.
Oh, okay.
Do you realize they're in a deficit every year? They have a monopoly and they're in a deficit.
I understand that. But they actually they perform a measurable service. You can actually say that if I put something in the mail, something will actually happen.
Wow.
Versus like, I don't know, whatever things. Anyway, I was going to say, on that case, I was going to compare it because I've talked before about this podcast about me being on a jury before. Mm-hmm. And just to quickly recap that, it was a gang beating. And all we had to do was decide if these people on this video that beat this kid up in a skating rink were the people sitting over there. And if they were guilty of beating up that kid.
Yeah.
So we had a video to watch. We would all been there like a week or two. We were tired of it, so we get into deliberation. But we combed through that video and all the evidence, and we all talked about all this stuff. It took about 6 hours. And it was the most obvious case. Everyone on earth would have come to the same conclusion. These people convicted Trump on 34 counts of like business document things, and it took them 8 hours. That to me is like
shady.
Wild. Yeah. Wild. Because that's like a lot of information to go through.
Yeah. Well, it just, again, it's a circus.
Yeah.
It's a joke. I know it's on all your minds.
Oh. It wasn't really.
5,800 dog bites.
Yeah, really.
At $65,000 a piece. How much money is that?
Oh, that's 300, almost 400, $500 million.
Unless my calculator is broken, 5,800 times 64,000 equals.
Well, no, they're saying the average claim. Yeah. They're not all making claims.
Oh, fine.
Right.
Okay.
So, but it is probably a big chunk.
Fine, Phil.
What you're saying is they need Kevlar. Like Trent,
Kevlar socks.
Trent has that bear bag that when we go camping, he has a bear bag that's Kevlar. So it's like malleable.
Yeah.
They just need Kevlar pants.
Kevlar
and underwear.
Pants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of those suits a bears can attack you in.
Amber, did you notice how good I deflected from talking about Trump any longer?
Yep.
And I'm totally going to just ignore that Phil's even like in the room right now, and I'm going to go on to galactic news.
Yeah. I am going to say about the Trump thing.
Oh, damn it.
You should have just moved on, Jeff. You should have just moved on.
I'm actually, even though I've said some things about it, I don't care. Like, when they convicted him or didn't, I was like, I just don't care anymore. Like, I almost want him to go to prison or die, which is a terrible thing to say. Because I'm just tired of, like, I don't know. And I feel bad for the guy, because I do think he's got a worse rap than he's not a perfect guy. I mean, he's a douche, that's for sure.
He has no manners.
But I think he's got a bad rap.
Well, I think whoever is in office, like if they were to go away, if they were to die or whatever, just the next puppet is going to come up.
Yeah.
It'll be...
Yeah, I don't know.
And John Rockefeller will just be running it all.
It's like, could anybody be worse, though, than these two?
It's pretty bad.
Like, well, for example, if Biden died, it'd be Kamala. And would she actually be worse?
Okay, Jeff, galactic news.
Thanks. The assist and the dunk. All right. What if one of your projects was a year over due and $1 billion over budget?
One of my projects?
Yeah.
That'd be a lot of dollars.
All
the correct
time.
answer was you would be Boeing. Yep. They got this space program called Starliner.
Uh-huh.
You know how you haven't heard of it? Because
no, I've heard of it. It's like Elon Musk's thing. Send billionaires to space.
So, and that's so funny to say that because literally they are a year behind schedule and a $1.5 billion over budget.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Which I don't know how you get away with that kind of stuff. Don't you
Unless
just shut it down at a certain
you're a billionaire.
point?
Well, they're just talking big dollars. There was a time when Elon Musk was behind on like every car he was shipping. If you'll remember, he was almost
that's true.
He was almost done before he even started.
Yeah, he almost didn't deliver anything.
And now he's the most valuable company there is. So, which I still don't understand. But
yeah, and like you've said before, SpaceX and Boeing are getting money from the government.
Yeah.
To do this stuff, and so it's not like their own personal money; it's the taxpayers' money. But so they just launched a what do they call it, Starliner, and I don't know. It's kind of the reason I brought it up was actually to point out how it's amazing to me that some people can be doing so well and other people are doing so poor.
Yeah. Well, I think because I do some unique things in what I build, and I'm sure you've had clients that come to you and you're like, I want this really crazy, unique thing that you don't usually do. Yeah. And what do you say? You usually say, well, this is the estimated cost and time. Yeah. But I haven't done it, but I'm reasonably certain I can do it like this.
Yeah.
The things that the government goes to, like these companies, like that F-35 fighter or whatever, they went to all the big companies, Lockheed and Boeing and all those. They're like, we want a jet that can go faster than any jet, hold like 50 nukes at a time, but be stealth, and it can land straight down like a helicopter. And everyone was like, okay. And so they all tried one, and one got the award, and then everyone was surprised that it was like way over budget and way over time on delivering them all. It's like, well, yeah, you had insane requirements from the get-go. They're probably doing the very best they can, but you wanted a helicopter stealth fighter thing that's like ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, it's
maybe
crazy.
it's something like that.
Probably.
But or maybe it's government spending. Maybe that's what you were getting at, was like, government's just writing too big of checks and no one knows where it's going.
Well, isn't Boeing the one that can't bolt a door on right?
Yes.
An airplane?
Yeah.
That is them.
So that's them.
Why are they giving
But
them
I don't know
money?
how many of those planes are in the air that the doors aren't falling off. Oh, are they all grounded?
They only need one.
I think they grounded them all and inspected all of them.
Yeah, but then
Probably
they're in the
after
air again, I would say. And even before then, there were a lot of them in the air that kept their doors,
fine.
Thankfully.
Yeah. That's true. Probably not a big deal.
I'm not trying to defend Boeing. I just wonder if that was maybe blown out of proportion. Because air travel is reasonably safe overall. Well,
it's held to a very high standard.
And so if anything goes wrong, everyone's like, oh my gosh. But something's going to go wrong.
How many Jeep doors have blown off in the last few months?
I don't know.
A lot.
How many Jeeps have just broken down?
Because it's summer.
That's true. Okay, I'm just moving on.
All right.
I don't actually care about that story.
Okay.
I must have been desperate.
Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump.
Well, back by popular demand, I got 7,642 emails about this.
Donald Trump?
Wow, listener.
No. Messed up animal stories.
Oh.
Haven't had that for a while.
Yeah.
Spiders powered by the earth.
Invade America.
That is the name that I gave this story because the big Joro spider, they don't fly except they kind of do. That's what the title is.
And they may be coming. What kind of title is this?
I don't know. 4th grader wrote it.
Seriously.
2nd grader just tried to read it.
It's a 2nd grade AI.
Thanks, Jeff.
No, me. I meant me. So there's this spider that is basically in the South and on the eastern United States, and a large, brightly colored invasive species called the Joro spider is in the United States, and using a tactic called ballooning, the Joro spider can use their webs to harness the winds and electromagnetic currents of the earth to travel relatively long distances. Have you ever heard of anything like this?
No.
No.
And that would be freaky.
So basically what they do, and they're big, they're like 2 inches
long.
Like,
are they poisonous?
I don't know.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
It does. That makes a big difference.
They're not reasonably poisonous.
Do you know this?
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Well, I just know because we've been watching a lot of YouTube videos lately on poisonous spiders.
Yeah.
And there's one guy that handles them all. His hands.
The poisonous ones or non-poisonous ones?
The poisonous ones.
Is he also the guy that purposely gets bit by bullet ants?
No, he's a different guy.
Oh, okay.
It's a newer guy, I think.
Well,
but he was like holding.
He did.
No, I'm teasing.
No, that guy.
That should be the story, Jeff.
I watched almost every one of those though, like the bullet ants and
yeah.
Those are nuts. You know what we're talking about?
Yes, I do. And
Brave
why?
Wilderness.
Why?
Yeah. I was like, this guy didn't have enough attention when he was a kid.
Yeah, really masochistic.
But
man.
But at the same time, it was educational. What does a man look like who was bitten by an extremely painful bite?
Yeah. But it would be trippy seeing a flying spider coming at you.
So they literally build a ball web, and then they run a string off it, and the ball will get carried by the wind. Very
so
low
it looks like a hot air balloon.
Basically.
A spider hot air balloon.
Yeah.
And
That's
they fly.
cool.
They can fly super long distances, and they're so delicate at a certain age because they do that mostly when they're really tiny, like the size of a grain of rice, and they can travel super far. I guess I obviously don't know exactly how they figure this out, but apparently the electromagnetic currents of the earth can affect them.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I always wonder how I'm like, okay, did you attach a GPS device to this
like how do they monitor
or did
that?
It really go over the hill? And that was
I don't know. Because that's the other thing of these are extinct, and they're like, oh, just kidding, we found a few.
Yeah,
it's like, did you look hard enough?
Yeah,
How do you actually know it's extinct?
Yeah. So. Which apparently there are quite a few people that still think the Tasmanian tiger is still around. There have been some sightings recently.
Oh yeah,
I think, but no pictures.
Well, if there's no pictures, then it's not true.
Then it's not real.
We all know that.
But yeah, we were watching all these spider YouTube things, and one thing interesting we found out, which I didn't realize, is that the black widow spider and the brown recluse spider have actually not caused any deaths ever.
I don't believe that.
Or the alleged deaths are contested, meaning this person with stage 4 cancer who fell over and hit their head was also bitten by a brown recluse.
That seems weird.
Sounds like how they counted COVID deaths.
Exactly, that kind of thing.
Was Fauci in charge of these?
But they also said that brown recluse bites that are serious are extremely rare. They almost never inject poison. But my piano teacher growing up was bitten by a brown recluse, and it melted her calf muscle away.
Really?
It was crazy. Yeah, it was
ugh,
nasty.
Well,
and we know Sydney got bit by a black widow.
My mom got bit by a black widow.
Did she?
Yeah.
Was she super sick?
She did get sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you even say black widow anymore though?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you be able to say
it's
it?
a normal
African
thing.
American widow, maybe.
Nope.
Is that where they get their name?
No.
Hello?
That was a crash.
Is this thing on?
We're just both silent.
I just crashed and
cricket. Tweet.
Black widows are gnarly. They're the one bug that I will genocide, destroy chemically.
Yeah, those do give me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
My
Especially
daughter,
when they crawl around on the web.
Yes. My daughter picked up a pumpkin off of our front porch last year, and one crawled up the side and I was just like, throw it.
So she threw it at you.
Catch, Mom. Yeah. No, but it just gave me the. And I like spiders. I don't like them, but they don't bother me. You know what I'm saying? Unless they're like that. But
I had a bunch in my garden last year.
Yeah.
I had to.
Black widows?
Yeah, I had to spray some Seven Dust all over my garden to get rid of them.
Seven Dust?
Yeah.
The band?
Yeah. The metal band Seven Dust.
Isn't there a band called Seven Dust?
There should be.
What
if
are you
there's
talking
not.
About Seven Dust.
That's a thing. Don't you go outside?
Never.
Yeah. What's Seven Dust?
It's called Seven Dust. No, it's called Seven with an I think.
Oh. Well, there is an artist called Seven Dust.
Seven Dust.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
No, but type in Seven Dust with an I.
Seven Dust.
See? Right
What
there.
is it? Oh, it kills bugs?
Killer garden. Yeah, it's it kills all bugs. It's really good for ants. If you got a trail of ants.
Oh, man. I had the worst ant infestation when I lived in the King Street house. And they were horrible to get rid of. They were so hard. to get rid of.
Well, you needed
and they
this
were
stuff.
I did. Where were you, 7?
Yeah. Yeah, we've had a lot of ants before, too, in some places.
One time, I went down to California with Cammie and her sister. And we went to her grandparents' house. We stayed there. And maybe Jake was there. But anyways, regardless, this was such a weird thing to me. We went into this like extra kitchen that they weren't in all the time. And there was a line of ants
on the ceiling,
along the wall and down and into the cabinet. There's a little crack on the cabinet. They were going into the cabinet and getting to something. And the grandpa comes in, her grandpa or whatever, and he has like this piece of chalk, and he writes on the wall just this line right in front of, and he does that like 4 or 5 times across the line of the ants what they were following. And I'm like, what in the heck? And they all kind of started scattering, and basically it broke up the scent line, and they couldn't walk in that line anymore. So they would walk up to that line, and then it wasn't just regular chalk, obviously.
Oh,
it was
okay.
something else.
Maybe
but
borax.
They kind of started scattering.
Yeah.
And then eventually it just kind of broke them up, and they were like, well, I guess we're all lost, so we're not coming back.
Yeah.
And
wow.
It was weird, but it was very effective.
I'm surprised that worked, they didn't like come together after.
Yeah, I don't know how it worked or what it was, but I asked why they used that, and I think the reasoning given to me was that there was a bunch of rules against using chemicals to kill bugs in California or something.
Oh,
like that.
Probably.
But is this stuff natural, 7?
Oh, no. It's like a nuclear waste for bugs or something.
I think
it's like a super irritant. Like, it's kind of like, you know how they say pour cayenne pepper? It's like that, but like the chemical version.
Oh, I was pouring cayenne pepper.
Yeah, cayenne pepper.
So weird.
It's very effective, though. All kinds of bugs. And it's safe to put like on your vegetables as long as you rinse them off.
Saute them?
Obviously. But
that's interesting. There's another thing that I used one time called it's a powder, and you have to like get it powder-fied. Is that a word?
Powder-fied. It is now.
Okay, so it's like a powder, but you had to like dust it.
Oh, no, you wouldn't do that with this. You don't want to breathe this. Or anything.
Oh, you don't want to breathe this one either.
Yeah.
I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called, but it's a totally natural thing. Like you can buy like 20 pounds of it for like
borax,
a nickel. No, more like Clorox. But anyway, I went around my house and I dusted the windowsills on the outside because it's like basically sharded.
Keep saying it gets better every time.
Shard.
Keep saying it, yeah.
Shredded.
Sharded?
It's shards of minerals. Okay. So it's been sharded.
Yes.
Okay.
Did it work that time?
Yeah.
Okay. So shards of minerals. Anyway, so it's like when the bugs walk across it, it like cuts them up and kills them. Somehow.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
But it's on like such a microscopic level. So when you dust it, if you breathe it in, it just shreds your freaking lungs.
Ugh, that's terrible.
And I was like, oh, I'm not going to do that much. I'll just do a little bit. And so I'm like puffing this stuff out onto the window sills of my old house and some of the foundation areas. And by God, I thought I was going to die.
Yeah.
Like my
Did it
lungs
hurt? Really? It got in?
Were like ripped apart.
Oh, man.
Yeah. It was really dumb of me.
That'd be
I
like
had a
horrible
similar
way to die.
experience recently because I come back from the winter to my trailer I keep on my property.
Yeah.
And it's full of bugs and mice and stuff. So I cracked open 2 of those bug grenades or bombs or whatever,
yeah.
and like stuck them in there. And it says on there, "Do not breathe this" or whatever. But I hung around just a little too long, and I was like coughing my brains out.
Yeah.
But I survived.
And you're here now.
Yeah. But
Did
it was
work?
comparable. It was comparable. Oh yeah, there are like no bugs in there. There are a lot of we trapped 9 mice so far in my trailer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I moved my trailer last year, and I broke the holding tank on the bottom, like where all the poop goes. And I was like, I need to fix that, but didn't. And they just crawled right in there over the winter and came right out the drains and set up like 5 nests in cabinets and walls and things, and a whole family. There's like acorns in all our cupboards.
Mice are the worst. I remember we set out poison to like kill mice.
Yeah.
And it worked. I walked into the laundry room and just like, luckily I had a sock on, but it was just out in the middle. I stepped right on it and it just
stepped on the mouse.
Yeah, I stepped on it.
We lived in a 1920s house, and mice will always find their way in.
Yeah.
Old houses especially. But so Colleen at first was like, I don't want to poison them and kill them. And I'm like, okay, well, what do you want to do? Well, don't they have like the catch them alive type traps? I'm like, sure. So I got the teeter totter one. Have you seen that where it teeters and it closes a door and it's stuck inside this little tube? And then, but the thing is, mice weigh such a small amount that you can pick it up. And like, how the hell do you know if like someone didn't like drop something and it rumbled the floor and it tripped you know what I mean? You literally have to open it and see if there's a mouse in there.
Oh.
So more than once, Colleen checked on it to see if there's a mouse in there, and there was, and it just got out again inside the house. And oh my God, there's so many funny situations. One time she took it out there and opened it, and it jumped out and freaked her out. Anyway, it's so funny. And it got to the point finally where it was like, just use the poison.
Yeah.
When we lived in Boston, we had tons of mice and rats in our apartment. And Crystal was like having a nervous breakdown over it. And she pretty much said like, you get rid of the mice or we're through.
Or we're through.
And so I bought like 50 cans of that great stuff, expanding foam, polyurethane foam.
Yeah.
And I combed through like every baseboard crack, every little hole in that apartment. And what I finally found was where the bathtub was, it was kind of like one of those clawed foot bathtubs.
Yeah.
And there was like a foot gap between the tub and the wall on the bottom, and under that was just a complete open hole into the basement of the building.
Ugh.
So I put some tape across there, and I filled like 5 cubic feet of foam in there. And we didn't have a single other problem after that.
That's so funny.
Yeah. But it was a big job to seal all those holes.
Oh yeah.
Well, I think they have poisons now, and I'm all about like I love mice and rats and everything. I love all kinds of animals. Just don't come into my house.
Yeah.
That's my rule.
Well, see, I think the poison's a bad idea because they come in, they get poisoned, they crawl into your wall, and then for like 2 years you're like, what is that smell?
No, but so if you do it right, so this is what I was told, and I don't know because I'm not a mouse, nor a chemist. So, but what I understand is that some of them, the way the poison kills them is it actually it makes them thirsty.
Yeah.
And so they actually
they go to water.
To try and find water.
Right,
so they actually come out of the walls. Now, could some die in the walls? And I'm sure they can. But at the same time, it's pretty rare actually demolishing houses, in the construction world.
I find
tons of mouse poop.
Yeah.
Tons all the time, everywhere. Very rarely do we find mouse bodies.
That's because they're completely eaten by ants.
I don't know. I have come across some houses that we've found multiple mouse carcasses.
Mice.
Mouses.
Moose.
Moosin.
Nieces. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have 2 cats, and that takes care of
it.
Yeah.
My mice.
That's the only concern I have is poisoning the mouse and then an animal
and then,
eating them.
Yeah.
That made me feel bad.
Yep. You know what the Holy Spirit and I have found is the most effective, though?
What?
Are the sticky traps.
Yeah,
but
they're
not
terrible.
Not the flat white ones. The ones that are like a black dish full of like honey.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
Those are good.
But the thing that sucks about them is they get stuck on there and then they're like
flapping around.
Just the old-fashioned ones that those traps. Those work really well, actually.
I don't know why in my trailer they got wise. I came back. I was like, obviously there's a lot of mice. I set 4 traps. We went to bed that night and caught a mouse. So then I set like 8, and then we left for a week. Come back, no traps are set, but there's new mouse poop everywhere.
Wow.
So then I stuck those sticky traps all the way across the hallway.
Yeah.
So they can't get to one side of the trailer or the other without walking over them. And we caught 7 in 1 week.
7.
7 mice.
Lucky number 7.
Grandpas, little babies, mamas and daddies.
How do you know it's a grandpa?
I don't know. I actually didn't see him. The Holy Spirit checked my traps for me.
And he
when
had a little white
there.
mustache.
Yeah.
He had a monocle and a cane.
Yeah. And I knew the one that was a chef because he had the cheese and the strawberry.
And the strawberry.
Oh, that's cute.
You killed Ratatouille?
Killed Ratatouille.
Yeah, please don't.
Get it? Are we just going to keep talking forever?
Finally you worked. I was waiting for you to work in murder.
Oh.
And you did it.
Oh, there you go.
Killed Ratatouille.
Yeah.
This has been the American Fork Podcast.
Without murder.
Without murder until the last 4 seconds.
Oh, man.
Oh, it's because Jake's
I brought
missing.
it in.
He's the murder guy.
See ya, Jake.
Jake, what do you have to say about today's episode?
It was great.
We fixed America and all is well. And I'm going to Disneyland. And you don't have to wait that long, Phil. It's fine.
Okay. Thank you very much. Listen to us on every podcatcher on the planet, including our new updated website, right? Phil updated our website, and it looks great, and it works, and it plays music.
It does. It plays our episodes, and it is a website.
That's true.
It is a website.
Another website is also patreon.com/AmericanFork.
Where you can donate to us so that we can keep doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah. We give all that money to Trent for the power bill.
For the power bill. In the summertime.
Yep.
When we run an air conditioner for 17 hours.
2 air conditioners.
Hot box up here.
Yep.
Okay. Well, bye.
Bye-bye.